Well. Welcome in, beautiful people. We've got a great stream for you guys
Yeah.
today. Mageddon is well and truly upon us. I imagine this week will probably be the most difficult week for you to set your lineups. Not only are you dealing with injury hell, I mean the injuries don't stop this year, do they? I can't think of a single week where it's like, oh yeah, we're actually good on the injury front. Um, But not only are you dealing with all those injuries, you also have 6 teams on bye and 6 very relevant fantasy teams on bye as well. So you are not going to have any Arizona Cardinals, the Lions, Jags, Raiders, Rams, Seahawks. So the names like Ashton Jeanty and Travis Etienne, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marvin, and
Yeah.
whatever the Cardinals have at running back in Puka, Adams, Kyron, Stafford, JSN, the Seahawks running backs. These guys are not available this week. So obviously a lot of you guys are going to have to make some really, really difficult decisions, but that's what we are here to help you with. So appreciate you guys for being here with us. We are going to answer as many questions as we possibly can today. Not too many questions in the queue right now. We've got a couple team reviews, which is awesome, but queue is very, very open today, so it might not be too long of a stream. Because the queue is not as big as it normally is, we have turned on super chat for those who prefer to super chat, but obviously our preference, and we will still prioritize the responses, would be on the Flock site. So you can, oh, Nightbot just did it for me as well there, but you can submit your questions through the Flock Fantasy website. So definitely check that out if you want to get a reply and you want a time code to exactly when we answered your question. I appreciate y'all for being here. What's up, Sammy and Styles? And we've got a bunch of people in the chat here.
What's up,
What's up,
fam?
Albert?
How you feeling?
A lot of our
Love,
people
love,
in the
love, love.
chat. I am facing Sammy Stacks this week, by the way, in the Flock League. And we're both just decimated with injuries. If you guys probably don't know this yet, but I did pick up Oronde Gadsden off the waiver wire. The way I looked at it is I was currently flexing Jameson Williams weekly, and at this point, why not start Gadsden over Jameson Williams? You know what I mean? Like 7 games so far, Jameson's been a huge disappointment. In five of those 7 games, he's been a complete huge problem for your roster. So even though Jameson Williams on bye, I don't think that really hurts my roster. I would probably bet on Nico Collins not playing this week, which is what I would hope for his health, right, guys? For his health. No, obviously we want all players to be healthy. So we've got so many injuries, and no Bucky. I doubt this week. I'm not going to have Jaden Daniels. Jameson's on bye. For him, Waller, Pearsall. We'll see if Debo plays. Nico. At least he has Kittle back, and it doesn't look like Aaron Jones will come back this week, but I'm also praying for Aaron Jones to be back this week, as he has Jordan Mason. So, yeah. It's, in one sense, it's frustrating because for both Sammy and I, we're not playing teams that have major buys. I feel like every other team in the Flock League, there are key players missing from their squad. Not for Sammy and I. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we're both just decimated with injuries. So it'll be an interesting week. But I technically would have beaten Sammy last week. So I'm holding on to hope that maybe there's a chance. Who are you playing this week after your incredible win last week over Mason Dodd?
Yeah. No, I'm playing Nathan. Which his team is pretty good. He gets Derrick Henry back. He has Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison playing on that Thursday night game. So I kind of like my odds there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll wait and see. Obviously, it's doubtful. I wonder if he's going to be playing Garrett Wilson over Xavier Worthy. I guess he has time to kind of figure that out, or over Wan'Dale Robinson. But for me, I get James Cook back, but that means I lose Devontae Adams because he's on bye. So really, what I really need to happen this week is for Josh Downs not to play, so I can play Alec Pierce again.
Right.
And then I don't really have a solid flex option outside of RJ Harvey. So we'll see.
Yeah,
My
and
team has been decimated with injuries.
let's be honest, RJ Harvey
So
is also not a good flex option. But guys,
yeah,
we appreciate you for being here with us. We are going to do a giveaway today. If you want to enter that giveaway, all you have to do is like the stream and type week 8 into the chat. And let's set the like goal at 75. If we reach 75 likes, we'll do that giveaway. So again, week 8, like the stream. Sammy says, I'm not starting Fields this week, Zach, so you won't have the same luck, unfortunately. Honestly, I don't really... Yeah, like you starting Love versus Fields. If Fields is named the starter versus Miami, I don't really... Or versus Cincinnati, I don't really know what I would do if I was you. So, I mean, maybe I'll start Tyrod Taylor against you. I don't know. I have no idea. Who knows what will happen. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you guys for being here with us. Let's jump into some of these questions on the Flock site, shall we? We've got a couple team reviews today, and obviously quite a few questions to answer here. So let's go to Junior.
Yeah, appreciate you, Junior. Quinchon Judkins. He says have Achane, Jacobs, Mark, JCM, Adams Olave, Addison, Wandale, DJ Moore, Cook on IR. I mean, looks like you have enough running backs there with Achane, Jacobs. Your RB3 would be, I guess, Marks or JCM. So getting Rashid Rice, I think, is okay.
Right.
So I'm okay with the 10-man league. If you really want to, you can go ahead and do it. I mean, you also have
He doesn't
names
really
like
have
Aaron
like
Jones,
a solidified stud RB wide receiver one right now. He's got Adams, which is a really good wide receiver too. Hey,
So
Travis Hunter should definitely be rostered, by the way. Some of your waiver wires I look at and I just get so jealous. But yes, Travis Hunter should definitely be rostered. Even though he's going into a bye week, I would find a way to make it happen, man. Like, drop Christian Watson or Jalen Coker, for the love of God, and go pick up Travis Hunter. There's league-winning potential there. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty indifferent on this. You could honestly make this move and then pick up Travis Hunter and then come back and pick up Aaron Jones. Like, why not? Drop Coker and Watson, pick up Jones and Travis, or Jones and Tez or something, and you're okay. So yeah, we'll take Rice there. Shall we go to Joel next? This is a dynasty one quarterback, 12 team start 10. Would you send Travis Hunter for Ladd McConkey? I have Travis Hunter as my wide receiver 19, Ladd McConkey as my wide receiver 18. This is another great example. I know we sound like broken records, but another great example of not panicking in dynasty football. This goes for both of these names, right? I mean, both of these guys in the first 4 weeks, everybody in dynasty football is panicking, saying, oh no, the sky is falling. I'm panicking Skywalker at this point. You got to just relax, let these really talented players, let them figure it out, right? Let the number 2 overall pick get some time in the league, and they're starting to really utilize him as a receiving threat. Travis Hunter in week 7, career high in snap percentage, in target share, targets, receptions, receiving yards, and got his first touchdown. That's kind of the type of upside that we were selling in dynasty rookie drafts with a name like Travis Hunter. You know, the anti-Travis Hunter people, they had a good little run there saying, oh, he's a bust. Well, just give him time. Just give him time. His first 6 weeks do not define his career. And then on the opposite side, Ladd McConkey, the target share is starting to go up. The usage is starting to go up. They have so many weapons. And again, in dynasty football, you want to be careful not to overreact either to the first 5 weeks. And maybe that's an example of Quentin Johnston now. Right? I mean, maybe we're seeing all angles to, how you should and shouldn't play dynasty football. I mean, where do we stand? Let's just quickly and talk about Quentin Johnston in dynasty. Where do we stand with him now? I mean, does he not feel like very replaceable in this offense at this point?
I mean, for sure. He does feel replaceable. But I think if we're talking about dynasty, the long-term effect is good. The fact that they have confidence in him, and trust him, especially if Keenan Allen walks, that might be a little bit different. I mean, I
Sure.
guess the same could be said on the Travis Hunter side. You know, um, with no Brenton Strange. I'm not saying he's a game changer,
Yeah.
but you get what I'm saying. Like a lot of his success probably finally comes from when Brenton Strange is not in the game. Um, when what we saw. So look, I think you kind of have to give it a little bit more time to really solidify an argument. I think both of these guys are great players. If we're going based off of
Here's what I feel
what we
confident
know,
to say. Quentin Johnston
hmm
is not an elite receiver in the NFL or in fantasy football. He's a good receiver in the NFL and fantasy football. He's not the guy
hmm
that you saw through the first 4 weeks. He's not going to finish top 6 in fantasy football. He's not going to finish, earlier in the week I felt like I was losing my mind. Earlier in the year I felt like I was losing my mind because every week in the first 4 weeks I would come on the stream and I would tell you guys, look, the odds are Quentin Johnston is not going to finish with 17 touchdowns and 1,500 yards, right? I just kept saying the same thing. Eventually, the pendulum's going to swing. Lad McConkey is going to get more involved. And I started to give up that maybe even what I was saying was wrong. Maybe Johnson was the truth. I think, yes, he's been dealing with the injury, but this is more what I would expect from Johnston, like anywhere from 8 to 13 points per game. I think that's more who he is in Dynasty and in fantasy football. Lad McConkey's too talented not to involve him. And now you have to also deal with Gadsden, who, I mean, that kid's legit. He's legit. I mean, he's 6'5", 240. Was always a talented player, has that NFL bloodline. What he can do after the catch is special. It's a young Darren Waller. So there's just so many names here. And you could make the argument that Travis Hunter has less to deal with on a weekly basis than a Lad McConkey, coming back to this question. But at the same time, Lad McConkey has established more with his time in the league. So I really don't have a strong opinion on this one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's two different sides here, Joe. I think if you want the quote unquote elite type of player, high draft capital, invest a lot of time and money into Travis Hunter is the guy. But if you want what's already been proven, if you want a guy that broke out last year, a guy who is still ascending coming into this year, I think Lad McConkey is the answer. My initial thought is I personally still want Lad just because he's technically still the number one there. Once Keenan Allen walks, it's Lad McConkey.
Right.
Once Keenan Allen walks, it's not, oh, is it QJ or is it Lad McConkey? It's Lad McConkey. Now,
Yeah.
Travis Hunter still has the argument, is like, well, is he T. Higgins or is he Jamar Chase? We don't know that answer. And to be fair, this is only one game. What happens if he drops 6-7 points next week?
Yeah.
Are you going to want Travis Hunter? And even if Lad McConkey drops 6 or 7 points next week, it's like, okay, then who actually went off? Was it Keenan? Was it QJ? Or was it Gadsden?
Yeah.
So for me, I still want Lad. I think there's a lot of different arguments. I think we just need to have a little bit more weeks of Travis Hunter doing this to really know this answer.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on this, honestly. I was one of those people who felt that Travis Hunter was an elite wide receiver prospect. And I said many times that if they featured him as a receiver, he'd be my wide receiver one in this class. And that looked stupid for a while until they started actually using him heavily as a receiver this last week. And now we don't know exactly what's going on. With this wide receiver room in Jacksonville. But Travis has every reason to be their number one moving forward. I mean, Brian is not playing up to his expectations. He's getting injured. I don't have a strong opinion between those two names. I really don't. I think Lad is a safer asset to roster because we know more about his outcome of his career. But I would say Travis Hunter has a higher upside. Like, Lad is probably never going to be a top 6 to 7 ranked receiver in Dynasty. You could see the pathway for Travis if what happened last week continues. So
where's Travis at right now on Keep Trade out of curiosity?
Oh, I don't know. I just updated my rankings. He's my wide receiver 17. Where does KTC have him then?
I'm pulling it up here. He's wide receiver 26.
Oh,
Lat
really?
McConkey is wide receiver 16.
Okay.
That hasn't really moved from, I'm assuming, this past Sunday.
Interesting.
Wow, they have Quentin Johnston over Travis Hunter right
Really?
now. Zay
That seems
Flowers,
silly
Jordan
to me.
Addison in dynasty rankings currently. So
Yeah,
that's interesting.
that seems silly. Although to be fair, last week I had Travis Hunter as wide receiver 21, and people were on the stream telling me that I didn't know how to make dynasty rankings. They're like, "Let me do them for you." So, who knows at this point?
Yeah.
Right? Dynasty people aren't willing to be patient. I don't have a strong opinion on this. I genuinely don't, Joel. It's kind of a get your guy thing. I think it's pretty even value, and you're making a pretty fair bet on both sides. At least, for Ladd, you don't have to ask the question, well, will he play more cornerback next year? Like that, you can start to factor that in.
Sure.
Because we were very honest when Dynasty rookie season happened to say, like, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like for Travis Hunter. Hey, where are my Bucky people out there? All right. Can we send up a prayer? Can we get him back versus the Saints? I need it. I need it. People are pretending like I'm reporting something here. I'm not. I'm wish casting here, guys. All right. We're wish casting a Bucky return. I know the most likely outcome is that Bucky is out until their bye is finished. Okay. So I know the most likely outcome is they don't need him to beat the Saints next week, and then he has the bye and he comes back week 10 versus New England. I understand that's the most likely outcome. Stop telling me that they're going to bring him back after the bye. I know. We all know that. That is common knowledge. I am saying have some damn faith. Believe with me. Do you believe in the impossible? Okay? Do you have faith is the question. Not is Bucky going to come back. The question is, do you have faith? And I need you to have faith. Okay. let's go to Hannah's. Is anybody having troubles going to the site and purchasing a question? Someone mentioned that they couldn't get onto the website. I did see someone who just submitted a question. Is anybody having problems getting onto the site and asking? I don't want to log out.
I just opened and refresh a new one, and it's coming on.
Okay.
Now, when I go to the advice tab, it loads up. So I would imagine it's okay right now. So
yeah, I know IRL. Azoth says I can't access it on mobile. Yeah, you know what?
You can't access the link on mobile.
One thing I was gonna say. Okay, is everybody on mobile unable to access the site right now? Because that's a big problem. We've had a couple problems recently. We'll let me put out a post real quick.
Let me just click on that link and see if it takes me to. So I just clicked on the link to access it on mobile. Let's see. I'm just gonna log in with my account here and see if it takes me the link that Nightbot uses. And I want a trade question. I mean, it's working for me on mobile. I'm not sure what people are, what the situation is, but right now I'm going through it and it's working for me, so I'm not necessarily sure what the actual issue is. But we'll wait and see. Appreciate you guys. All love. I see you guys. Yes, I did win against Mason.
Yes.
I was
by the way,
relieved.
Mason is such a big fan of keeping records each week for each channel. Land is 2-0 this last week, and Flock is 0-2. So, but I don't think we really want to go down that path this year, do we? But anyway, guys, yeah, for all those people on, this is actually good. Let me copy this. Let me copy this real fast because they just gave us the error code. And I'm going to send that to our devs. Okay. I apologize, guys. I don't want to take time out, but I want you guys to be able to access the site.
Appreciate you guys.
How many people, just hold your hand up. Just say, me with your hand up in the chat if you can't access the site right now. I see 3 of you so far. Is that, maybe that's 4. So just tell me, okay. Just tell me if you can't. Okay, that's another one. So that's at least 4 people. Okay, I'll monitor that. Anyway, appreciate you guys. We'll get that sorted out. But you can still submit. For a lot of people, they can submit on mobile right now. But if you can't, try to sign out, sign back in. And then if you can't do that, then try to go to the site on a desktop. Okay.
All right.
Haynes,
Appreciate you.
Hertha.
Yeah. The quarterback position, Daniel Jones or Jackson Dart. I'm neither here or there. I have both of these guys ranked back to back. Technically, I have Jackson Dart higher than Daniel Jones, just because of the rushing upside. I don't really have a strong opinion here.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's an interesting question. If
maybe you can be
Sammy
the
is
tiebreaker.
watching, then Jackson Dart. No. I love Jackson Dart. I'm not gonna lie. My plan was definitely to pick him up and start him against Sammy. I did not think Sammy would drop 15 fab. That surprised me. I was like, oh, everybody has a quarterback in this league. You know, nobody's really gonna go hard after him. I thought I'd get him with like 5 or 6 fab. I didn't, unfortunately. Is what it is.
You like Bo Nix?
Yeah, love Bo Nix. Yeah, no, trading
Bo Nix?
trading couldn't have gone worse for me last week. Like a 1 week sample size of trading, it couldn't have gone worse. Traded Puka.
Dude, if you would have lost this past week, you would have been pissed.
Okay, guys, look, I don't want to go on too much of a rant. There's a lot of questions to answer, but I want you guys to think about. Okay, I want to clarify something. You know, there's been a lot of people on our panic videos who have said like, Zach, I don't like your attitude. I don't like the way you're approaching this season. You know, you need to be grateful that you get to do this as a job. So let me just clarify. Clearly, I'm very grateful for what we have built and the type of job I get to work, right? Like, in saying that, you know, 5 years, 60 to 80 hours. I mean, we made it happen as well, right? We put a ton of work into this. But I am very, very, very grateful that I get to do this. Didn't come without a lot of hard work, but I'm very grateful that I get to do this. At the same time, I think one of the things that people appreciate is that I am honest and raw with you guys. Like when these weekly videos come out, and specifically that panic video, I feel like the worst thing I could do is be fake with you guys and be like, hey guys, half my team is decimated, but I love fantasy football today still. Hey guys, my team couldn't score 100 points. I had 3 players who dropped a goose egg, you know? So let me just be very clear. Like, I love fantasy football. That doesn't mean that I can't hate it at the same time. Like, yes, I love it. I also hate it. That's the beauty of fantasy football. I love what I get to do, but I also hate what I do sometimes. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't think, I would never expect any of you guys to go into your jobs and like be happy all the time. It's just like things happen. But I'm saying all that because like this year, like I feel like fantasy football has been the most unpredictable year of all time. Injuries have been, in my opinion, I've played since like 2000. It's been the worst year of injuries I can remember. And my luck has been all-time low. I want you guys to think about what happened last week. Okay, we lost Puka Nacua, right, to the injury. We're sitting there at 2-4. We have to make a move. So what did we do? We traded for Jaden Daniels and Drake London. And everybody in that video was like, Zach, you killed that trade. You absolutely dominated. What happens? Drake London doesn't score much. I'm not worried about Drake London. But then Jaden Daniels gets injured. It's like, bruh, are you really for real? I mean, I just traded my superstar to get 2 healthy players and Jaden Daniels goes down. And then even funnier is I trade you Charbonnet, the Browns defense, and Bo Nix. Because I'm like, well, I've got Jaden Daniels now. I'm going to start him every week. I don't need Bo Nix anymore, right? And yeah. And I'm like, all right, I'll get Trey Benson. He'll become a flex for me when he comes back from his injury, or maybe I can use him in a trade situation. And what's hilarious about that, the Browns, the #1 scoring defense that week. Bo Nix, the #1 scoring quarterback that week, 38 points. No one was a bigger Bo Nix believer than me heading into the season, and I sold him at the worst possible time I could. The worst possible time I could trade him. I traded him away to you. And now I have no Jaden Daniels, and you're starting Bo Nix against the Dallas Cowboys coming off a quarterback one finish. I mean, talk about fantasy football being just, I mean, could you describe it any better than that? Just like, it's hell and it's heaven.
I'm there.
Fantasy football is hell and it's heaven, man. And it feels like every week you're either being sent up or down. It's up or down the elevator every week. It's either hell or heaven, you know? So last week I would have crashed out if I lost for sure. But yeah, I mean, what does the chat prefer me to do though? Like, do you guys prefer me to, this is a genuine question though, because I want you guys to enjoy our content. Do you prefer me to wear my heart on my sleeve in my content and just be real with you guys? Or do you prefer me to just like put my personal leagues aside and my feelings for the game aside and just like keep it strictly business? Like, what do you prefer? I'm just so curious about that. But I guess I know I'll never make everybody happy. But yeah.
Yeah. No. You can't make everyone happy. You gotta do what you gotta do. We appreciate you. Here we go.
Yes.
And look, I'm gonna go Jackson Dart. I like Daniel Jones. Great matchup this week for Daniel Jones. Jackson Dart, this probably has a little bit more of an edge with the rushing upside. Now, as Zach was doing that, I was looking at it. Since Jackson Dart has been the starter, Daniel Jones and Jackson Dart are actually on par. 18.1 fantasy points. Both of those guys been averaging within that span. Yeah. So, obviously, Daniel Jones probably has a little bit more of an edge because he's played more weeks. But
he's on a better offense too. I mean, your offense isn't bad. Yeah. He faces Tennessee as well. I do slightly lean Daniel Jones myself, but I understand where you're coming from with that rushing floor.
Yeah. But he plays the Eagles. We saw what happened last time, but doesn't mean that's going to happen again.
You know, here's what I was going to say about Jackson Dart just quickly. Playing Philadelphia in Week 6 in New York with a lot of injuries to their defense is really different than playing them Week 8 in Philadelphia with a lot of their injured players back. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
So I don't know that we can go and look at Week 6 and say that's what you're going to get again. That defense is more healthy. And at Philadelphia, I mean, even Jaden Daniels last year, who had arguably the best rookie quarterback season of all time, when he went into Philadelphia, I don't know if you guys remember this. It didn't work out very well. What did he do? He had 14 points. It was like one of his low lights of the year. But look, I definitely get where Badaki's coming from. It is very close. I slightly lean Daniel Jones just because he's in a better offense.
Yeah, but I'm happy. I'm happy out of the way. Like I said, I don't really have to think.
I mean, right now, I think I'm either starting Joe Flacco this week or Marcus Mariota. So, anyway. All right, at running back, Henry's going to play, obviously, for you. He should have a great bounce back. And then Stevenson or Vidal. I'm probably going to go Vidal here. Stevenson playing the Browns. It's close, though, between those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lean Vidal slightly.
Yeah.
At receiver, obviously, Puka's on bye. We don't know for sure if Waddle's playing, but I believe he will. So let's just say Waddle and Wilson for now. And then I think Taylor's honestly a fine desperation play at the tight end spot this week. I don't know how you read it, but for me, I don't think Garrett Wilson is a better or worse play with or without Justin Fields, but I do think Mason Taylor is a better play without Justin Fields. Like if you were told today, hey, it's actually Tyrod Taylor, my confidence in Mason Taylor would actually be much higher. And obviously they play the Bengals. The Bengals are really bad against tight ends. So there are worse plays out there. And his flex, I'd probably go Worthy. Now, if Wilson doesn't play, then Worthy's at receiver, and you probably flex Stevenson. And if Waddle and Wilson somehow don't play, then you start DJ Moore and Worthy, and you still flex Stevenson. So,
yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. All right, going to the next one here. High drag, low speed is I'll also be sending Texans defense. So you're sending away Cam, Scatterblue, DJ Moore, Terry for Bucky and Justin Jefferson. Yeah, look, I'm okay with this. This is start 7. You're probably not starting one of these guys. I mean, you're giving away Cam Scatterbo. I think my question is, what's your record, right? Like, can you do with this? And if you send away Cam Scatterbo, who are you starting at your RB2 position? Ooh, Derrick Henry, and then it's Travion Henderson.
Hmm.
That's a bit of a tough one there. I'm not sure if that's ideal for your team. I'm not sure what your record is. I mean, respectfully, I don't think your record is good enough already if I'm looking at your team. Derrick Henry just came off a bye. You probably started Cam and Travion Henderson, who literally had less than 1 point. You started Amon-Ra and DJ Moore this week.
I think this is a home run. I don't think you second guess doing a trade like this. When Bucky Irving is back, I would prefer him over Cam Scatterbo rest of season. And I think we know at this point, obviously I can't promise you anything because the NFL is unpredictable, but I think we know at worst you're going to have Bucky back in 2 weeks, week 10 versus the Patriots. I think that's worst case scenario. And from week 10 onwards, would you rather have Bucky Irving or Justin Jefferson? It's not even close. And Justin Jefferson or Cam Scatterbo and, Diddly D and Diddly Dumb. I think we prefer Bucky and Jefferson here.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Oh, that failed to send. So let me just quickly refresh here. By the way, there is a fix for that mobile issue. I'll tell you guys when it's live, but there is a fix for that mobile issue and they see it. Hi, Drag Low Speed. We just answered your question. I know your time code will be later, so just go back like 60 seconds in the stream and you'll hear our answer to your question, my friend. Okay, so I can officially announce that anybody who had an issue with the site on mobile, you should be able to refresh right now. Sign in, sign out, sign in, rather, and you should be able to access the site. Thanks, guys. You should be good to go. Okay, Yosefu is starting. Look, Caleb Williams, obviously. If Jaden Daniels plays, you play Jaden Daniels. At running back.
Yeah. Play Saquon still.
You do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Rashad White's on his own versus the Saints, you still play Saquon Barkley, right?
I mean, we might play him in the flex, but yeah, I think he still started Saquon Barkley personally. At the wide receiver position, it's going to be Rome Odunze, and I guess can't even trust Debo. I mean, can you?
I think if
you won't know that, I think I might just go Pittman. Actually, let me just triple check my rankings. I haven't really.
There's so many factors to the Debo play this week. What do I mean by that? Well. Hold on, is Debo not in my rankings again? Yeah, I mean,
I actually have Michael Pittman higher than Debo this week anyway. So like what I was saying was right in my thought process. So look, I'm not going to be starting. I'm not saying I'm not starting Debo. I'm saying with the options that you have, I'm going to start Pittman based off matchup. They're playing at home as well. Now I can understand this game can get away from them. It can just be a Jonathan Taylor type of game. But Michael Pittman, I think, has been a solid floor throughout the couple, at least throughout the season, right? I think he only had 1 game or 2 games under double-digit points. Had over 20 points this past week, so I'm okay with that. Now, if Debo, you have time because if Jaden Daniels does play, you're gonna have to start him in the flex. But your big question mark here is. Do you start Debo knowing that Jaden Daniels is not going to play with Quentin Johnston playing on Thursday night, or then you have Devonta Smith? So for me, I'll probably just end up going according to my rankings here. I technically have Devonta Smith next over Debo, so that's where I would go.
Sorry,
that was probably very long-winded, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I had Debo at wide receiver 19 this week. So I'm still confident in him if he plays. I think you can see they need him, in my opinion. I have Terry at wide receiver 29. I'm just thinking all this through. Sorry. There's
No,
just
you're
so many factors to a question like this. I apologize. There's just so many factors, right? Okay, so who did you say at tight end? Let's just start there. You said
it's gonna be Gadsden.
yeah, I agree.
And then for me, it would be Devonta Smith most likely, or it can be Rashad White.
Okay, I think Rashad White's
Now,
a must play versus the Saints. So assuming no Bucky, Rashad's got to be the flex for me. Now at receiver,
well, you can,
uh-huh.
I was just saying like you can definitely choose in between because QJ is not going to have it's not going to be an option because he plays Thursday night unless he starts QJ.
Right.
But then he has the. I think if we don't know by Sunday kickoff if Jaden Daniels is going to play, and if Jaden Daniels and Debo's is gonna play, then you have to go either Devonta Smith or Rashad White, and I would just go Devonta Smith. But I can understand Rashad White as well.
Yeah.
It's a great matchup.
If I knew that Terry was out and Debo was the only receiver relevant in Washington, it would be Debo. If not, I will go and play Pittman.
Okay.
That's how I would operate.
Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't mind doing something like that. El Cubano is next here, sending away Jake Ferguson and Cam Scatterboot here. I am. Yeah, I'm okay with something like this. I would imagine that you can. Is it crazy to say you can get something more? Like higher? Like
I think it will. Look,
the...
I'm just thinking about who owns Cam Scatterboot in our league. I feel like if I sent this to Mason, he would be like, he would find a way to make fun of me.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't think you can get more for Jake than this.
Than Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like this deal. I'm just thinking of if maybe he can squeeze something else, or like, can it be like if we're just looking at running back finishes throughout the season, Cam is RB8 currently, so
I don't think you're getting more than Cam Scatterboot personally. I would take the Cam Scatterboot side of this pretty easily. Like if this was offered to me in the block.
What about if it was Kyron? Would you want Kyron or Cam?
I don't have a strong opinion.
On a bye week.
I don't have a strong opinion there. Yeah.
Okay.
Much harder to find a running back that has that type of usage than a streamable tight end, and obviously that's not what Jake Ferguson is, right? He's a top 3 tight end, but still, tight ends don't have that kind of trade value typically.
Yeah, I agree.
What's up, Outlying Sermon? They said, give me trade ideas for my team. Quarterback is Dak, Judkins, Krosky, Collins, Sutton, Tucker Craft, Flexes, Smith, Tet. I need to improve. Well,
I mean,
you're in a little bit of a tough spot because Nico Collins is not a name that people want to trade for right now. So Nico Collins is much more of a hold than a sell, right? People questioned his upside this year before the bye, and then he went out there and got a concussion and didn't have a good game. So you can't sell one of your best players. Judkins is going to go on bye. You can't sell Bill Krosky right now. He's much more of a hold than a sell. Tet is more of a hold than a sell. Maybe, I don't know what the rest of your depth looks like, but if you can package like a Devonta Smith with a, what do you think, like a Bill Krosky merit maybe? The problem is without Sutton, I don't know who you're, it sounds like you have to play Smith and Tet. I don't know if you have terrible depth outside of this, but if you have enough depth to make a move like this, you could look at packaging like a Devonta Smith and a Bill Krosky merit and try and upgrade your running back. You just talked about Cam Scatterboot, Bucky Irving, if you can wait on him, Saquon Barkley buying low, James Cook coming back, Derrick Henry coming back. Those are some names that you could potentially consider. You don't need to upgrade at quarterback. You're fine with Dak. You don't need to upgrade at tight end. You're fine with Tucker Craft. But again, the wiggle room with your team, it doesn't exist because you have a bunch of holds and players who are injured or underperforming. And, just with Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, I said it in today's video, but in case anybody missed it, look, I don't know what else people want from JCM from like a fantasy perspective as far as like what we can predict. He's the dominant running back in Washington, getting the vast majority of the opportunities. But he's on a team that has no wide receiver 1, 2, 3 and has a backup quarterback now. So what teams have been doing is stacking the box against him, and that's been working. Even if they just had Noah Brown, it would be helpful. Even if they just had Deebo Samuel. So right now, Krosky Merritt is much more of a hold than a sell. I mean, when Daniels, Terry, Deebo, Noah Brown are all healthy, there'll be much better running lanes for a Bill Krosky Merritt. So it's definitely not time to sell him either. But clearly, he's his limited upside until the team is healthy. That's my opinion here.
Yeah, love all those. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, Nightwing is next here.
Yep.
He is sending away Devon Achane and Tetaroa and receiving Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on this
10
in
team
such a
start
small
7.
league. Yeah, it's like a 10-team
Yep.
start 7. 12-team start 8, you probably don't. But 10-team start 7, you're
I'm okay with
already
this.
a superstar squad. Tet isn't in your starting lineup every week anyway when Bucky's healthy. Yeah, I mean, your team is completely dominant. I just can't think of a reason to tell you not to do this trade. So,
Yeah, I completely agree. Love it. Mark is next. Says could be a contender this year. I'm 4-3 with the highest points for against. Hate trading young talent, but this is a hole. So
Mark, we don't know what the trade is, though, my friend. You haven't given the opposite side of it. Is Mark in the chat with us? What we will probably do is give you a free voucher to come back. Because we obviously want to give you a good answer here. And right now, we don't have enough information. So I'm going to give Mark a free trade question voucher. Please come back, Mark, because, yeah, we don't know. There's been no other side of the trade submitted, right? We got to know what you'd be sending JSN away for. Appreciate you, Mark. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. If you guys are interested in being a part of today's giveaway, we'll give away some vouchers on the Flock site. All you got to do to enter is like the stream and type week 8 into the chat, all one word. Once we reach 75 likes, we'll do our first giveaway. Okay. Brian Evans is sending away Achane and Brees for Bijan. This is similar to the trade with Nightwing, but it's different context. It's a 12-team start 8. Now, is Brees Hall a player that, you know, you can rely on every week right now? No. He's not a part of a good offense, but Brees Hall could also be traded.
I just don't think you I mean, look, I can understand why you want to do this, but if you're sending away both your RB1 and 2 to get Bijan, who's your second running back? Are you going to try and make a trade? I don't think you really can. You have Nico out this week.
Yeah,
most likely.
You're right. If you do this trade, you're starting Jalen Hurts, Bijan Tajay, then this week Rome, T-Mac, Warren, and you're flexing Downs and Booty maybe. That's not a great spot to be in. I think if you had a better RB3, I'd be more open to this. Man.
Yeah, I just don't think you can do that, unfortunately.
Wait, this trade must have already gone down.
Why do you say that?
Because, or maybe it didn't. I don't know. Maybe it's still pending and they haven't done it yet. If it's the reverse, I'm fine to do it with Benson coming back at some point and Pacheco and Stevenson. Like, you can piece together an RB2 there. But, yeah. Look, from a value perspective, I think Bijan is as valuable as this package. But then you need to ask the question, can you flip a Bijan if Tajay ends up being RB2? Can you flip him for 2 really good starting running backs? Can you flip this and go get a Buck Irving, a Judkins, and something? Can you go get a Scattaboo, Bucky, Kamara? You know, like, if you can do something like that, great. But from a value perspective, I do like Bijan there. It's just from your team context, I don't like it. Sean,
I agree.
says in need of a running back pretty bad and decent depth at receiver. Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way this is what I mean. If I was sent this trade in the Flock League, I would not even respond. You're just not sending away Tetairoa McMillan for Aaron Jones. That's not the range of running back that you would get back. For me, if you're sending away T-Mac, like I wouldn't send T-Mac away for like a Chuba Hubbard, a Jordan Mason, Ken Walker, a Montgomery, a JCM. You'd probably have to start with like Breece Hall, Henry, Etienne, Warren, that range. So yeah, there's just not a chance that this is the best offer for Tetairoa McMillan. I mean, it wasn't a good matchup last week anyway, and it's not a good time to sell him now that we've got no Bryce Young for a couple weeks as well, with the Red Rifle coming in, running the show. They're definitely going to be down against Buffalo and Green Bay, needing to throw. Yeah, if this is your best offer, there's not a chance I'm accepting this.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was somebody else that specifically on this guy's team, on the other team that you can get. And I mean, if somehow you can pull off Kyron, which is doubtful, I would.
Can't get Kyron. That's shooting too high.
You just can't do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the right owner might do Henry after he's been pretty bad and Lamar Jackson's not practicing right now. Etienne, Warren, those seem realistic. Swift, but Aaron Jones, there's just no way. If that's your best option, I'm sending away T-Mac for Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I agree. All right, who's next?
Mason says, would you rather have Judkins or Scat? Need a change with my team culture after being embarrassed last week. I guess the question is, would you rather have Scat or Alvin Kamara?
You like Kenneth?
Send it through, man.
You like Zach Charbonnet? Zach Charbonnet is a dog. That's what you need.
Send it through, man.
I got him on my team, man.
No more Kendre Miller. Send it through. No, honestly, Mason's a team that could use a Jake Ferguson. I put Jake Ferguson on the block. I'm going to try and roll with Gadsden if I get the right trade. But we're not helping you. That's our answer. We want you to lose. Mousy 2002 is sending away Charbonnet and McBride for Saquon and Kittle in a 10-team start 7. Yeah, I like this deal. I like buying low on Kittle. I went to buy Kittle last week with Sammy, and if I did that trade, I definitely would have lost. I went back to Sammy this week and said, hey, can I buy George Kittle? And Sammy still said no. So I think most people are going to be patient, but this guy clearly doesn't seem to be patient. So I'll take the Saquon and Kittle side pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree. Saquon and Kittle side. Appreciate you. A-Rod here says need a running back, sending Walker, Sharps, Tyler Warren for Saquon, Wandell, Kyle Pitts. Yeah, this is a tough one. And you probably need a running back specifically this week.
I'm not sure.
I think in a vacuum, I still want your side. I know you have a bye week. I think
it's the
Tyler
Pitts Warren. That's the issue.
Yeah, Tyler Warren, Kyle Pitts is a big drop. I just don't think you can or should do this, but I understand why you're trying to do this. I mean, at the moment, you have Woody and Ashton. Well, Ashton's also on a bye, which sucks for you. I mean, if you can take an L, you just got to take an L here, unfortunately. I'm not doing this trade. I don't want to give up Tyler Warren. I know you have K. Dalton here. How about you swap K. Dalton and Tyler Warren? Maybe that's better.
So that's the counter you're saying is instead he sends K. Dalton. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Warren's probably the big reason the other guy was interested. But that's probably the counter I would suggest too. I don't want to send away Tyler Warren.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Madrid. Mooney, Tez, and Gadsden on the waivers, but don't know who to drop. I guess that's what that means, right? Would drop. Okay, at running back, you are starting. Oh my God. I guess it's JCM and it's Pacheco this week. At tight end, Kraft. And then your flex play. Wow.
Well,
Tough.
he's saying he has Mooney, Tez, and Gazden on waiver.
Yeah, I would probably throw if Godwin plays, he's the obvious option at flex. And if Godwin's not out there, if there's no Njoku, it's probably Fannin. Now, for him
I
to
think if
pick,
Godwin's not out there,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say like I think if Godwin doesn't play, then maybe Tez is the play. But I
Yeah,
need to double check that over Golden.
yeah. Tez owners are desperately hoping that Chris Godwin is not back anytime soon. Because when Godwin is back, it's gonna be difficult. Obviously, Mike Evans going down is good for Tez from a fantasy perspective, but when Godwin's back, you'll still have to ask some similar questions. Look, I think Gadsden is the one that I'm most confident about with all these names, and we have to say that in saying we're confident, we're also aware that any of these guys can bust between Gadsden, Tet, and Mooney.
Yeah.
Any of them can bust on any given week. I'd agree with Badaki that this week, if Godwin is out, I would trust Tez the most. But you're not going to be able to make that decision because Gadsden plays on Thursday night. So who are we dropping? We need to pick up one of these names. Who are we dropping? Do you drop maybe? It's either
I think if he
Fannin
has,
or it's.
that's who it is for me. Because he has Tucker Craft and Gadsden, no?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the first step for you is to try and do a 2-for-1 trade somewhere, right? Where ideally you're packaging like Fannin and Pacheco to a tight and needy team or something.
yeah.
And then you can fix that problem. But I guess like Fannin's gonna be picked up if you drop him, but he's probably the name we'd want to drop the most. Not that we even want to drop him. Do you not just drop Henderson at this point?
That's what
I mean,
I was literally pulling up his name. I was like, I mean, Henderson has been the handcuff that you would have dropped by week 4.
so
There's no point of
3 weeks
actually
ago,
having him on your team.
3 weeks ago, when this is so funny. 3 weeks ago, when Antonio Gibson went down with the ACL, if you asked me at that point, hey, who's the clear handcuff and who's going to benefit the most if Stevenson goes down? I would say like, oh, like Trayvon Henderson's going to turn into a league winner if that happens. Now, if Stevenson went down, are we confident that Henderson
Are we
would
confident
be
that Henderson is going to be the next guy?
the next guy? Like, are we confident in that? It logically
The
makes
man had
sense.
2 touches. Like, I understand if he had 2 touches in week 1 as a rookie. We are 7 weeks into the season, and my man had 2 touches in a game where he is technically. They spent a second round pick, and he's the RB2. But he's not the RB2 on paper, technically.
Yeah.
According to the stat line, maybe I should say that. He's probably RB2 on paper, but not according to the stat line. I mean, look, I would just say if you have to make a tough choice, it's most likely going to have to be Henderson, but I'm going to drop Fannin. And look,
But
if
at
it's
the
not,
same,
if you
I
wanna
will
keep
say this,
Henderson,
Badaki, just quickly. If Henderson was dropped in any of my leagues, I would probably pick him up straight away.
well, I was going to give the other option. If it's not Henderson, once you drop Fannin and you don't want to drop Henderson, then you drop Luther Burden.
Man. You know, we've said so much this year. Be patient with rookies.
Oh, wow.
And if you did that with Travis Hunter, you were well rewarded last week. I would still lean like at some point Trayvon Henderson becomes important to this offense. And what's strange is we put a poll in the chat, and I think I would drop Fannin over all of these names. Just like outcome of upside for all these names. You know what I mean? Like Henderson, I know it sounds stupid, but I still think he could be a league winner in the right situation. RJ Harvey, if Dobbins goes down, you would throw up if you dropped him. Luther Burden. Once they finally move on from Zacchaeus and put Burden in that role, you'd be pissed at yourself for dropping him. Fannin is the one that I think, if all of them reach their upside, he's the one that you're probably the least upset that you dropped. Do you know what I mean? But again, this is why I would go out there and really suggest to try and package Fannin and running back to get a slight upgrade if you can, because any of these drops are going to be painful, to be honest. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I was just sorry. Something happened in the flock league, by the way.
Oh, did a trade go down?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's Charbonnet. I mean,
I don't understand that.
I
mean, look.
Why did we just make Mason's team better?
Because yeah, I'm not necessarily sure why that's the case.
There's no, this deal, man. I mean, there's no like give for Mason here. It's just take. I just don't understand. I don't understand that.
It's clear that Nathan thinks they're even in value. I mean, if you're just looking at when did I need to have a look at when this guy played. So from let's start week 3, right? Yeah, it's probably week 3. Week 3 to now. I mean, if we're just going based off starts, we're going based off of everything that happened. Technically, the person that Nate got is technically better according to stats. According to what has been produced so far. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's bad for me. Because I'm playing Nathan this week.
Wait a second. Is Judkins on bye next week?
Yeah.
Okay, then I like this trade.
Do you play him next week?
Yes. What's hilarious about this trade?
I don't think it's a terrible trade.
Yeah.
Like I was just looking at like when they both were starters, and technically the guy that
this is like the equivalent of like if Jameson Williams was like a superstar, and I said, actually, I know I bet on that guy, but now I'm gonna trade him. Like I don't.
Yeah, it's not ideal for the bit, maybe, but like I'm interested in why he traded him, but
look, I mean, this is great for me because I play Mason in week 9, and I'm not gonna have Bucky for sure, so I can't be
Mason.
too upset.
Did he come to you or did you go to him? Out of curiosity.
And are we allowed to tell the chat about this? I don't know. He says, "Yeah, you can tell the chat." Okay. It's a very simple trade.
Maybe what you should do is instead of
Unfortunately, okay.
before we answer the question, we should just have everyone say what the trade. We should just say what the trade is and what everyone thinks of who won that trade. So
What?
before we
That was so confusing.
we should just say
what are you saying? Sorry.
what the trade is and what people think before we say it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Before we do
Does that make
what
sense?
though? You're saying
Before we give our opinion. Before we give our opinions.
Okay. Okay.
Before we try and say our opinions and maybe sway somebody else, sway them of what their opinion
Okay.
originally is.
Sure.
Just tell them the trade and tell everyone to say who won this trade.
Okay.
Yeah, put a poll.
Here is the trade. So trade just went down in the Flock League. And I'm going to pull it up for you now because unfortunately, Sleeper on desktop has not opened up for me this entire year. Like, I don't know what's going on. But is that just me or is anybody else having that same issue?
No, it always works.
It works for you?
me.
I haven't been able to open Sleeper in desktop like this entire year from like the chat perspective is what I'm saying. Okay, so Mason gets Quinshon Judkins and Nathan gets Cam Scattaboo.
Who won the trade?
Who
Put in the chat.
won the trade, chat? So I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. I have an opinion. You know,
I have one as well, but I mean, I don't really.
Don't want to sway the chat. I think Mason wants to feel good, so I don't want him to feel good. And I think what I'm going to say is probably going to make him feel good. So should I lie to him? I don't know. Look,
I have no idea.
I think the initial shock is like because Nathan took so much heat for drafting Quinshon Judkins and he went through the fire, and then Judkins ended up being a really great player and really important to his roster. You know, that's the confusing part about it is, again, that's why I said, like, it's the equivalent of, like, me trading for Jamison Williams, and then if we were in a reality where Jamison Williams was actually, like, a superstar, then me being like, I'll just trade him for someone in the same tier now. So I think we have to keep in mind it is a PPR format, and Judkins does get opportunities through the air, but not the same way that Scat does. And honestly, I can see, the more I think through this, the more I can kind of see why Nathan would do this.
Yeah. I mean, I think Nathan wins this trade. And that's not my bias. That's just what has been, since they both have been starters. I technically put it from week 3, because that's when Tyrone went down and Judkins started in reality week 2, but he only had like 10 snaps or some shit like that. So I put it from week 3. If you do from week 3 now, Cam is RB5, Judkins RB11. It's pretty significant. Cam is averaging 20 fantasy points per game, Judkins 16 fantasy points per game. Cam is, the Giants have been scoring. You know, you're hoping that the Browns somehow just get into the red zone and Judkins runs it in for a touchdown. So I think I've been in love with Judkins the whole time. I agree with you. It's just the bit, right? The bit. He did the bit and it was like he took Judkins in the 5th before he even knew, and then that's his guy.
Yeah.
But I think Cam wins this.
I haven't really had to think about these two players back to back. I've had them in the same tier in my rest of season rankings. Look, I think this could go either way, honestly, the more I think about it. I think initial reaction is like, wow, Judkins, you're really going to give up Judkins? He's such an elite prospect and such a great player. But at the same time, I understand why Nathan might view this as a sell high. because we play in a PPR format. And since week 2, Judkins is averaging 2 targets per game. On the opposite side, Scatterboo is averaging about 4.6 targets per game. So I think there actually is a safer floor for Scatterboo moving forward. But Judkins is a better player, in my opinion. Now, if you look at Judkins' upcoming schedule, though, that's where Mason could easily win this. Baltimore week 11, Raiders week 12, Niners, then the Tennessee Titans, the Chicago Bears, the Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Bengals. Is there a single matchup from week 11 onwards that you're really scared of? I mean, even San Francisco, they're not great against running backs. Their defensive line's a little bit hurt. Buffalo is one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. So even the scary matchups, I'm not sure there's a single matchup you're truly afraid of with Quinshon Judkins. But where Mason wins this trade is if Tyrone Tracy is just getting worked back into the rotation. That's where Mason wins this trade. Last week he went from 32% to 36% of the snaps, and his usage was higher. If we get to more of like, right now it's more like a 65-35. If we get this down to like a 55-45, Mason wins the trade. But if it stays at like a 60-40 even in favor of Cam, just with how much they use him through the air, then I think Mason probably wins this. It's close. It's close. I just think that stretch from week 11 onwards is really nasty. And, you can't say the same thing for Cam Scatterboo. Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota. There are some good matches for sure. But
I just think you will still want the guy that's on the better offense. I know the matchups are tough, but he technically just had 2 matchups.
Well, what you haven't thought about is that Shedeur Sanders is going to start for this team eventually. That's where you're missing, okay? All right. Tom Brady's what is the word? Padawan. Anyway,
I mean, yeah.
I think initially I was like, wow, I can't believe Judkins just was moved for Scatterboo. But the more I think through it, I think it's pretty fair.
Well, Nathan just got Scatterboo. And I'm playing him this week, so that's unlucky.
Right, but he would have had Judkins anyway.
I know, but I think Cam's upside is higher than Judkins on a week-to-week basis. I wouldn't be surprised going into this game, New England is up early because of how good Drake May is, and Cam only has Quinshon only has maybe 8 points. That's really good on my end, from my perspective. I think no matter what, when they get into that goal line area, because once again, the Giants have been scoring, this offense is better. I think they're just going to continue to run the ball with Cam in the goal line area. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is honestly a pretty even trade the more I think about it. I would probably slightly prefer Judkins. Again, just because of those 2 factors, the schedule is about as good as it gets from week 11 onward for any running back in fantasy football. I think you would find it really difficult to find a better schedule to end the year. But then with Cam Scatterboo, you also have to ask the question, how much will Tyrone's role evolve? Because Tyrone's not a bad player, but Cam's clearly just better. And then the PPR floor probably gives a little bit of a benefit to Cam. But if the Giants are buyers at the deadline and they do bring in a receiver,
I think that's just going to help their offense. I think it helps their offense.
It helps Cam. Right now. No, I don't agree with that. You want Cam Scatterboo to be desperately needed in the passing attack. If Olave joined this team, I do not think that benefits Cam Scatterboo.
Right. I think the opposite. I think that opens up more for him because now they actually have to guard a receiver. Who are they guarding in the secondary? Nobody. So then they can just give more opportunities to Cam.
A target is far more valuable than a carry.
Sure.
So that's fine, but I would much rather have a running back be in a position where they're desperately needed each and every down.
Sure. I mean, I kind of understand that. I think I see it on the other side of the coin where like it just opens things up. He can have bigger runs. Right now they're stacking the box, and look what he's doing, stacking the box, because that's essentially what's happening. And he's getting the opportunity to air, and he's getting those goal line opportunities. So I think either way, in my perspective,
It's close.
I like the Cam Scatterboo side. It is close, but I think Cam does have the edge just because the offense is technically better with the Browns. But like you said, it could change with Shador Sanders.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you can make a case either way. And Mason, if you need Badaki to come over and make some ranking videos this week, just if you want to elevate the channel, let us know. We can hire him out to you. Okay,
man.
Let's go to the next question here. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Delicious07 is sending away Javonte, Hampton, Vidal, Pickens for Henry, Bucky, Zay.
Javonte, Vidal, Hampton, Pickens, Bucky, Henry, Zay. One quarterback, 10 teams start, 7.
I prefer
I'm okay
Pickens
with a
over
trade
Zay.
like this.
But Derek, and I think this is about as even as it gets. I prefer Javonte over all these running backs rest of the year right now. But when Bucky's healthy, I'm not sure I will. It'll probably be Bucky.
Yeah. I'm okay with something like this.
This is a pretty fair trade on both sides, to be honest. I don't have a strong opinion on this. I think the value is pretty fair on both ends. Gadget says, trying to buy Kittle low. Is there a different package that's still worth it for me to ruin my depth? I mean, respectfully, man, like, if this is your depth, it's worth ruining.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I definitely, I'm glad I see Kittle or Auten ranked that low, because he shouldn't be ranked that low on my rest of season rankings. Let me change that now. I'd probably put Auten around like wide receiver or tight end. I don't know. What do you think? Like tight end 15?
I'll tell you exactly.
Rest of the year 16, something around there.
I currently have him 17.
Yeah. So yeah, again, like
this week. Sorry, not like for the rest of the year.
Okay, yeah. I'm saying rest of season, but look, if that's your depth, then it's definitely worth destroying and just going to the waiver wire to pick up more depth. Yeah, I would have no issue whatsoever sending all those names and then going to the waiver wire and picking up a Joe Mixon and just all these speculative ads, Blake Corum, Jaden Higgins, Arroyo, like these type of names. So yeah, that's definitely a package I'd be willing to send. I'd be shocked if they accept it. Now you could also swap out Myers for Shakir if that gets the job done. Yeah, you can't really use your other running backs in a trade like this. So hopefully that's helpful.
Appreciate you, Gadgets. All right, next one we have here.
Kwame of Fantasy is starting May Achan at running back 2.
I'm starting Stevenson.
Yeah, it's really close between Stevenson, JCM, and Marks. Marks, hey, I mean, the offense looked terrible, right? The entire offense looked terrible. The offensive line, I find it silly that the offensive coordinator is deciding in short yardage situations when the game's on the line, let's run the ball, even though you have the worst offensive line we've probably seen in the past 5 years. I think they need to be more creative. But Woody Marks is clearly like, how many games do you anticipate the Texans being up and dominating? I don't think we see that again this year, what happened against Baltimore. So Woody Marks is going to be the guy to own. We saw that. And honestly, the Texans probably have a better chance to win that game if half the time he dumps it off to Woody Marks instead of forcing it downfield into double coverage. So I think he's a decent option with his receiving game. But what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, like, watching that Texans game last night, that offensive line is terrible.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know if you saw the play, and maybe you know what I'm talking about. It was shotgun formation. and then 3 offensive linemen guarding one. They all go to the one player, and then 2 freely rush. I don't know if
Yeah.
you. I don't
Dude,
know how to explain
every
it better,
every
but like
play when
it's
you watch the replay,
crazy.
after like it's either Woody or Nick Chubb getting stopped in the backfield for a negative gain, every replay you see at least one offensive lineman in the matter of a split second lose their assignment. In the matter of a split second. Like it's like Madden on easy mode, like rookie difficulty. And they're
Yeah,
instantly like swim moved
incredible.
off. But anyway, at receiver, no JSN this week, no Puka. I mean, you're probably going to have to start Higgins. If Pearsall plays, it's Pearsall, but you're probably going to have to start Higgins. And thank God for you that he might be more attractive this week with the Nico situation.
Situation, yeah. We just gotta keep an eye out on that for sure.
And then between JCM and Marks, where do you lean there?
For me, it would just I would go Woody.
Yeah, I
Which is
don't
not
think that's
exciting.
crazy. I would have them in the same tier, to be honest.
If you told me Jaden Daniels was playing, I would go JCM, but
100%.
we're not gonna know that, and I think Casey is just gonna play bully ball if Marcus Mariota is on the center,
Yeah.
and he's gonna run. That's the problem. He will run and
Yeah.
hold the ball himself. So that's where I will
Yep.
go.
All right, we're on the same page. Childra is got to start sit question here. They're starting Allen, Javante, Rashad, Emeka, Egbugbu, Rasheed Rice, Kittle, and at flex, I would probably say Warren
Let's
feels like a
see.
must start. now.
Yeah, he does. I'm just double checking between Warren and these Panthers running backs. I do have Warren over Rico and Chuba, so that's where I would go technically.
Warren over Rico and Chuba. Yep. And then the last flex between McMillan, one of the Panther running backs, Wandale. Oddly enough, I think Wandale's probably your safest play.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning.
But I think McMillan has
You
the
have,
most upside.
yeah, you have opportunity. I mean, I need to go back and watch how Andy Dalton played with.
Well,
Ted
it was obvious that
again?
the Jets' game plan was to get rid of Tetaroa the entire game, not let him be a factor.
Yeah,
Um,
I would
Look,
imagine that.
I
might
think
be
Tet's your
his
highest
thing.
upside. Wando's your safest floor. Depends on what you want to go there. I'd say in a start 8, you probably play the upside.
Yeah.
Um,
Michael here says I'm 3 and 4. Have Lamb, Saquon, Bowers, Bucky. Do I try to tier up Rice to Puka or sit tight Rice and T for Puka Nakua? One quarterback, 10 teams start 8. Yeah, look, I'm okay with something like this. You're sitting Rice and T, and you're gonna have CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Chris Olave. I think there's enough there. I think it just depends on your running backs, or sorry, on your record. Excuse me. Can you afford to do this? Because we know Puka is not going to play this week. That means you're going to be starting CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, and Jameson Williams on a bye. Jacoby Myers is also on a bye.
I'd love to use this opportunity to sell high on Rashad White if you can instead. If that's not possible, then what if you add Rashad White to the deal and you get back like a DeAndre Swift, something more interesting long term? Or do you have a tight end that you love? No. Well, can you go get Kittle and send Fannin, and get back like an Aaron Jones? So there's a couple counters there I think you could try.
I agree. Appreciate you, Wilson. Sending away Jordan Addison for Quentin Johnston.
I prefer Jordan Addison,
Yeah.
probably. I mean, I need to update my rest of season rankings with that one. Where would you go? I just feel like there's less competition between
Look, I think
and Addison. There's just less competition for Addison.
I would agree. There is less competition. Addison has been since he's been back. He's been consistent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 15 points the first 2 weeks, and then 21 points. Had his best game so far. Already had his bye week, so you don't have to worry about that. Addison does feel better. I think my only concern is what's going to happen with when JJ is back. We know he's not going to play this week, but is he going to come back the week after?
Yeah, which
So
is really
I'd still
fair.
go Addison.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I'll
a
still
really
go
fair
Addison
concern.
technically, but I'm just worried about that.
Hmm. Um,
um,
would you rather have Addison or Waddle? Addison or Worthy?
I'd rather have Addison over Worthy for sure. Addison over Waddle.
Here's a hard
And
question.
I technically still want Waddle. Technically,
Here's a hard question. Would you rather have Marvin Harrison or Travis Hunter rest of the year?
I still want Marvin.
It's toughy. Yeah, look, I prefer Addison over Johnston in this deal, but it's close. Q Mando says, who should I start on my flex? Rashad White or Tetero McMillan? What? Okay. I guess we'll just answer the question as if it's a super message then, because we didn't get any information on the team here. But let's just assume it's Rashad White or Tet McMillan this week. Assuming there's no Bucky, it's Rashad White pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
If Bucky plays, probably T-Mac. Bang Bang says,
Agreed.
my league mate hates Saquon. This is what I'm thinking. Haven't sent the trade yet. So he would send away Rico and Olave for Saquon Barkley. Yeah, I like that buy low on Saquon for sure.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well. Bang, bang, bang.
Nez Smith sending
Naismith.
away Cook and Lamb for Javante and Amon-Ra. I don't have a strong opinion on this.
Yeah, I don't either.
Really no opinion on this at all. This is about as equal as a trade gets. Probably prefer CD just because they'll be in more games where they need to throw. So I'll probably keep that CD Lamb side, but it's, like I said, it's about as even as it gets. Maybe the tiebreaker here is the fact that James Cook has already had his bye.
Yeah, well, Amon-Ra's bye, like James Cook had his bye and Amon-Ra's on his bye this week. Excuse me. So like, either way, not either way. You're kind of benefiting. You just have to figure out which one is. I'm okay with keeping the side that you have, but this is you're splitting hairs here for sure. Gleam. Sending away Marion Hampton, Judkins, and George Pickens for Bijan Robinson.
That's
Start
a heavy package to send there.
Yeah, this is a start 8, so depth does matter. Quinshon and George Pickens are pretty significant in this trade. If you were to send Quinshon, Judkins,
he would have just
and George.
So his lineup his RB is he sending Dowdle in this? I can't remember. No, right? So his RB2 would be Rico Dowdle. I don't love that.
Marion Hampton, he's sending away.
So he would have starting Caleb Williams, Bijan Dowdle, Chase Egbuka, McBride, and then he's flexing Johnston and Stevenson. So while you get Bijan, which is an awesome player to have, your lineup as a whole drastically decreases in overall value, I would say. I think this is one of those hard questions where it's like, yeah, Bijan is worth it as one of the best players in fantasy football, but your overall lineup will suffer. And your depth is going to be shot completely. So that's a decision you have to make. I probably wouldn't be bold enough to make that decision and play the waiver wire.
I think if you can get something small in return, like this guy has a Zach Charbonnet, I will take a shot on that. A Chase Brown. I feel like you need something back in return. I don't know what that is. But like, it can't be a wide receiver. It has to be one of these running backs. Maybe not Kenneth Walker. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe not Kamani Vidal either, because you're sending away Marion Hampton. So like,
yeah, those are good options. Should I drop Justin Fields for Pacheco? Yeah, I see no reason to hold 3 quarterbacks in a 1 quarterback format. So that's fine. Lamb, Johnston, Ferguson, Kincaid in your flex. Would you flex Kincaid over Kamara, Dobbins, Brown, Jacobs? No, we wouldn't.
No, I would start those running backs.
Well, he's already starting Jacobs and Dobbins. My bad, but
I would either start Kamara, Chase Brown over Dalton.
Yeah, what about Wanda?
I would even. I would start all these players over Dalton. So
I'll go
QJ,
Wandale personally.
Wandale,
Oh,
Chase
QJ.
Brown, Namara. I would start QJ over Dalton.
Oh, yeah, that's QJ or Wandale. Probably QJ, right? Oh, he's already starting QJ. My bad. Okay, let's just go Wandale. Jeez Louise, sorry.
Okay, I didn't see that. Sure.
Okay, Mark. What's up, Mark?
Cool.
Says, guy said would trade if y'all said fair. Thoughts? So there's a guy in your league that's saying he'll do this trade if we say it's fair. That's a lot of pressure. I am trying to figure out how to approach this then.
Me too. I'm gonna have a look at his team. So you're currently sending away Terry, Justin Jefferson, and Kenneth Walker. Terry, Justin Jefferson, and Kenneth Walker. So your team is Doug Kamish. Terry.
I feel like
Justin
Mark,
Jefferson,
you should have told us
Kenneth
how
Walker.
honest to be with this one. I don't think that's enough for Christian. I don't think Walker's a startable asset, and we just don't know when Terry will be. If this was Justin Jefferson of last year, it's probably fair. Okay, he said, be honest, he's my twin. Then honestly, the answer is just no. It's not fair. Yeah. I think if you want to make it fair, you're probably going to have to remove Terry and put Sutton in there. And that's probably closer. But even then, I'm not in love with it. Like, would you need to add like a Kelsey Ferguson swap or something? I'm just trying to value CMC properly. And I would do this for any of those top four names, you know, Puka, JT, CMC.
Yeah, I feel like my initial thought is like if you want to do this trade, it has to be a Monroe Rice. I know Justin Jefferson is kind of has that name.
Okay, so you're saying let's remove.
Like if you just want to do a straight swap,
you're saying,
not a straight swap,
right,
but like a Monroe or Rice and then something small, like a.
He can't afford to give him a running back though.
No, he can't. So it has to be
Oh wait,
two wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Walker or Charbonnet is better either. So yeah, it would probably have to be Rice, Sutton, and Walker and Charbonnet. I don't know. I mean, even then, I don't know that I'm in love with it, but that's probably closer to value.
Yeah.
Wait, did people are saying Jalen Waddle just got traded, or are they're trolling the chat, I assume?
They better be trolling because I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah, this is not the right person to troll. But I don't feel like Ramen God would troll us. Anyway, I will say, Mark, that the first trade is not fair. Okay, they are trolling. Ramen God, that's warning number 1, brother. All right, don't make us put you in timeout. Look, I don't care either way, but Badaki, you definitely just hurt Badaki's heart. Okay, Mark is sending away. So this is the trade from Mark where we gave him that voucher. He would be sending away JSN for 2 firsts, a second, and a third. When you're sending away a player the caliber of a JSN, you don't care about the seconds or thirds. They do not make an impact in a trade like this. So the question is, would you send JSN away for 2 random firsts? And I would not.
No.
Yeah. I mean, those firsts have to be guaranteed like top 5 each. And you need to start thinking about JSN in Dynasty the way that you think about CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua. Would you send away Jamar Chase for 2 firsts and a couple other picks that might make a difference? No, you wouldn't. Right? So the answer is no for me. And it's just not enough. Maybe if there's another first in there, maybe if there's a young player that you love like Travis Hunter and you get rid of the seconds and the thirds, I don't know, but that's not enough for me. People are now apologizing to put Daki in the chat.
No, you can.
For the
I can
heartbreak.
understand. Fucking shit, not jokes.
Okay. Agato NTB says thoughts. They'd send away Metcalf and Wandale for Scattaboo, and I would do that in a heartbeat. I would take Scattaboo in a heartbeat, right? I mean, I guess context is important here, but yeah. I mean, you're not really even sending away that important players on your team. Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, we should probably get to some of these team reviews, but we did... Are any of these Dynasty? Let's just double check. I know Jay Suggs we're going to do today for sure. I want to check on this other one and see if it's Dynasty.
Yeah, it is Dynasty.
It is Dynasty? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that for a Dynasty stream this week. We did reach our goal of 75 likes, so shout out to you guys. This is your last chance to enter the first giveaway. I mean, we're probably not going to get to 150 likes on the stream, let's be honest. So it's probably the only giveaway, but anything's possible. You guys are always doing crazy stuff. So if you want to enter the giveaway, like the stream and type week 8. That's as simple as it's gotta be. So Kleinot is a Dynasty team review. Jay Suggs is a redraft. So yes, right now we currently have 33 entries and rising.
Jay Suggs just setting up his stuff on the back end. Aaron Jones limited at practice. Oh, dude, I really want Jalen Waddle to come. If we, I think if we would have won, I said I really want Jalen Waddle to go to the Giants, but it's okay. If we would have won against Denver, those chances of us doing that, I think, is high. But I think if we win this week, they would probably go back to I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just thinking about it now. What's crazy is that we could have been 4-4. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How would you feel with Jacoby Myers instead? I mean, I'm not jumping for joy. I think it's better than the situation that we currently have. I would say that. I think it depends. I would be okay with Jacoby Myers depending on what we gave up and how much we paid him. Jacoby Myers wants a contract extension. So, in reality, the person I really want is Chris Olave. I want Chris Olave over Waddle. That may sound crazy, but I would rather have Chris Olave.
All right, let's do this giveaway.
Yeah.
We've got 46 entries. And all you had to do to enter was like the stream and type week 8 into the chat. The start sit voucher is going to go to Gadgets, which that's a new name we haven't seen before. All you have to do, my friend, is DM me on Discord and send me a screenshot of your YouTube account and tell me your Flock Fantasy username. Very important you listen to this next step. If you don't have a Flock Fantasy account yet, create one for free, but make sure at sign up you use a promo code LAND, L-A-N-D. That way I can find you on the back end. Anybody out there, by the way, can create a free account with the code LAND and get the My Teams feature for free. Okay, let's go to the trade question voucher. And the trade question voucher goes to Evelyn Arisha. I'm probably saying that wrong, but same exact thing, Evelyn, to claim your voucher. Appreciate you. Okay, let's get to this team review for Jay Suggs.
All right, I'll send that to you. Okay, awesome. Appreciate you, Jay Suggs. Thank you so much for the support. Let us know if you're here with us. I know you were here with us yesterday.
I really want Aaron Jones to play. Sorry.
Yeah, I said that earlier. That he practiced in limited. Yeah. But appreciate you, Jay Suggs. Once again, let us know if you're here in the chat with us. This is a 1 quarterback, 10 teams start 7. So that's all heavy hitters, of course. He says, really like my team this year, but I'm curious what moves we should be making between trades and waivers. Thank you. Let Him Cook is his team name. And he's currently ranked first.
He's 4-3. but clearly has a good team if he's ranked this high for us. And the team is
Yeah,
very
so
good.
Drake May, Jackson Dart, excuse me, Drake May, Jackson Dart, James Cook, Josh Jacobs, Alvin, Trey, Zach with Puka, Nico, Sutton, Wilson, Waddle, Trey McBride. This is a really good team. I would say obviously Puka Nakua is probably going to be your only untouchable. Um, you are 4-3, which technically you're not at the top of the league. Looks like you're in the middle of the pack type of situation, which is not bad. So I don't mind that. So Puka Nakua is going to be untouchable. Guys to pick up off the waiver wire at the moment, I would say there's really not much, but guys that you should be monitoring, RJ Harvey if J.K. Dobbins goes down. I also see a name like
Tez?
Josh Downs or Tez Johnson.
Would you rather have Tez or
especially-
Jameson Williams rest of the season? I think it matters how quickly Godwin comes back, but
Yeah, well, you know what's funny? I was keeping track of that. And Godwin, I think Todd Bowles already says Godwin is not going to play week 8, or it doesn't look likely that he will play
so
in
he
week
might
8.
be after the bye or something.
Yeah, it might be after the bye type of situation. So RJ Harvey, Ches Johnson are guys definitely to monitor. Aronde Gadsden, you're in a 10-man league, so you can drop someone like a Harold Fannin. But once again, I'm putting these guys here for you just to monitor and just to wait and see. If you wanted to cut somebody today, Harold Fannin is going to be somebody you can go ahead and say thank you so much for your service, but we're going to have to move on.
Yeah. And just before you dive into the rest, I just forgot to tell people we are diving into team reviews section of the stream right now. Anybody who gets a team review from us also gets what's called the team playbook, which is basically a customized game plan for your season. If you want to review, use the promo code LAND, become an annual Mother Flocker member on the Flock site. That will give you a voucher that you can use through the Flock store. You can also go through the Flock store and buy one a la carte if you're a member of a different promo code. But yeah, if you want the same experience that we're giving Jay Suggs, that's how you can get it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. And I think that's about it. You can drop Harold Fannin. I'm somebody that you can also drop if you wanted to, especially in a league like this with all your depth. Tajay Spears, I don't think you're going to be able to start him, especially with how deep your running back room is. Jacobs, Cooks, Kamara, Henderson, Sharps, like even if Tony Pollard goes down, I think I would personally say you're probably still going to start Charbonnet, Alvin Kamara over him if he gets that full workload, and that's not exciting. But maybe that looks different with the new head coaching regime coming in. We'll wait and see. Specifically, I guess the interim head coach. But that's about it.
For who? Sorry.
I'm talking about Tajay Spears.
Okay, right.
Like in a 10-man, I'm happy to drop Tajay Spears because of his depth. He's never going to start him because of how good his depth is as well at the running back position. So,
what do we think team grade?
I think it's a good team. I think you're hurting with injuries right now, unfortunately. I think this team is like a B+, A- type of team. I think you have a really strong quarterback, great running backs. Puka and Nico are both hurt right now. With Trey McBride as well.
Yeah, I think when you're healthy, this is
this
definitely an A.
Yeah.
I would say A- because I'm not going to, discount Puka for missing his bye week or, not being available during his bye week. So
yeah, so Puka's not available. Nico's not available. McBride is not available this week. And by the way, since McBride is not available this week, you should pick up Gadsden, drop Fannin, start him. That's the real plan, actually. I don't think we mentioned that, but continue.
Yeah.
So Gadsden is going to be number 1 on your waiver wire priority.
Yeah. No, pretty good team, honestly. Yeah. I'm trying to think about what moves you can make. I mean, I guess right now let's say when everyone's healthy, you're going to be starting May, Cook, Jacobs, Puka, Collins, McBride, Sutton, or Wilson. So one of Sutton, Wilson, as well as Waddle, Kamara, and the rest of your running backs are expendable in a trade. So I think that's where we're going to start. Hypothetically, we package Jalen Waddle plus Alvin Kamara right? And can we get, I guess you'd prefer to go running back because you don't want Henderson as your RB3. Yeah, and you certainly
Yeah.
don't really need to improve wide receiver if you do that. So
Yeah.
Kamara
That's good.
and Waddle, and then we are looking for an upgrade at running back. Let's find a wide receiver needy team. Let's find a receiver needy team. Let's start at the bottom here. The guy was AJ Brown, Wandale, Jameson. So can you turn Kamara and Waddle into Javonte Williams? That's actually probably perfect for you.
Yep.
And their team probably improves with a trade like that, honestly. The guy who has Ricky Pearsall, T. Higgins as his wide receiver 2-3, can you go get Saquon Barkley from him?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I like that as well.
That would be ideal for you. Not Dobbins. I mean, that's not going to really change anything. Not Brees. Would you take a shot on Genty rest of the year? I don't really
I'm a little bit
know.
concerned. I mean, they can't do anything on that offense. And
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Denver, Dallas, Cleveland. Yeah, I'm not saying Ashton is not good. It's just that
No,
offense can't move the ball.
it's clear Ashton's an elite talent. It's just that offense is really bad.
Yeah.
You could try for Derek, but that guy already has a lot of depth. But Derek would be an option. Let's see. We've got Taylor, Bucky. Could you go get Bucky? You can't get Jonathan Taylor, but could you go get Bucky? I would love that. That guy's already got a ton of depth. That guy's got a ton of depth. Those are probably your best options there. And that's the route I would try and take, honestly. I mean, you can go to a different extreme and package like a Sutton and a Kamara.
Yeah.
That
can get you to another level.
should bring you to a much higher tier. And if we're doing that, we're thinking the Josh Jacobs, Achans. That's probably the range.
Yeah, he has Josh Jacobs already,
Okay,
so probably
so
just be
Achane.
Achane.
I think those are some ideas, and they'll definitely improve your roster, but you don't really like need to make a move. I think those are just moves that those guys are expendable. I mean, let's say, for example, you did use Sutton and Kamara and end up being Achane. I mean, your starting lineup improves, and you still have plenty of depth. Sutton is interchangeable with Garrett Wilson. Any of these moves would definitely improve your team as well. You can afford to lose those two names and still have a great fantasy team, but you're already killing it, man. I know you're 4-3. Don't be discouraged. Your team is very good, especially when Puka's back after the bye.
Yeah, appreciate you, Jay Suggs. Thank you so much for the support. Let us know if you have any questions. I don't think you're here with us in the chat, but you know the deal. You should be receiving your customized playbook here within 48 to 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system. Go to the advice tab, then click on message. That's where you're going to be receiving a customized playbook with everything that we drew up here for you today. Appreciate you, man.
One more
Thank
question
you so much.
for today's stream, and that's from Gleam. He's sending away Dowdle and Chase for Achane and Adunze.
Rico Dowdle, Jamar Chase for Devon, Achane, and Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about Jamar Chase, but he's back with Joe.
Yeah, for sure. That trade saved Jamar Chase's season big time.
No question. No question. Now, I think we need to recognize the gap with Rico and Devon Achane, though. So I think that's...
Yes. I'd rather have Achane and Adunze in my lineup weekly than Chase and Dowdle, but at the same time, you do have a ton of depth.
He also needs a lot of help at running back. He needs a lot of help. He has Hampton, Judkins, Stevenson. So this isn't really going to improve his running back room having Achane and Judkins in there.
Well, that's not his team. His team is the team that has Achane right now. So if he made this trade, he would actually have a running back room of Javonte, Kamara, Dowdle, Mason, Woody.
Wait, am I reading that wrong? I thought it was opposite. Yeah, right. Okay, you're right. You're right. Unless the trade already went down.
Um, yeah. I'm pretty indifferent on this one. I think it's pretty fair value on both sides. It's hard to value Chase right now because right now, after a game like that, you're like, wow, 23 targets. Jamar Chase is going to get 15 to 20 targets a game now. And that's probably not going to be the case.
No.
But he's
I
going to
think
be
more
good.
realistic is like 10. I think it's more
10
a
to 12.
realistic outcome. 10 to 12. Yeah, 10 to 12 still is still really good. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Chuba's not going to go away. So if you're buying, Dowdle expecting him to win the job, Chuba's not going to go away. I'm pretty indifferent on this personally. I think you have a better, more well-rounded team keeping Achane. But I understand how, Jamar Chase can be a league winner. So I don't have a strong opinion on that, honestly. I think that's it for today. Appreciate you guys big time. Every day we go live, and every day you can get your questions into the queue at any moment of the day, right? That's the great part about our website. When you submit a question, make sure you do it with Fantasyland. And when you submit a question through the website, no matter when you submit it, you always get a time code to exactly when we answer it. So you won't have to wait around on stream. Obviously, look, if we were to answer the questions in the regular YouTube chat, we would nonstop be here all day. But we have plenty of content we need to make. We appreciate you guys big time for being here with us. He is receiving Achane. We read that wrong. Yes.
no. I think that's what we said. No, he's receiving Achane in Rome, and he has Jamar Chase in Rico.
Yes, so we would prefer the Achane side then, is what we meant to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys big time. Thank you so much for being here. Go check out the content on the stream. In fact, if you're watching this right now and you're like, do I start this player or do I start that player? Well, guess what? Our start sit videos for both running back and wide receiver is already out. They were just released today, and you have my rankings for every player in that video. So go check that out. We'll be live tomorrow answering your questions. Nothing but love, guys. See ya.
Love.